do the breakout sessions to go in the inspection room, and 2 robots I need to go into the, in fact, hold on, look here. We have a session called Understanding the Key Components of the Competitive FTC Robot. So I need a couple of teams to be in that room and actually leading, veteran teams to be leading that discussion with probably some maybe sophomore teams or rookie teams that might be here. So who would like to take their robots to inspection to help explain the inspection stuff? You guys? Yeah, inspection? Yep. Okay, you guys need to go inspection. Hot wired, batteries in black, you can take your robot to, you guys take it to competitive robots? Okay, I have a list of where those things are. Okay. Inspection is in room 212, and the Understanding Key Components of Competitive Robots in 210. So, for those of you in Understanding Key Components of Competitive Robot, you have about a half hour to figure out what you're going to say. Okay, let's see what time we are. So, I said we're not really kicking this off till 9:30. It is 9:07. So we're going to kind of suspend our live stream, and for a few minutes, you're all free to move about. Well, I'll tell you what, since we're off air and all of you showed up in person, I will take, huh? I'm still on there, okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, my family watching me from the East Coast, because I sent them all the link. Anybody have any burning questions you want to ask? Anybody got any questions? You've got to be kidding.
Is there anybody here that can guess what the whole thing is about this year?
Yeah.
What is the goal of the exercise? Anybody?
Except for those that were here earlier helping set it up.
No, yeah, I know who was here. Go. That works, that's one.
You have to lift off, like twice around the field, and do a water landing.
No, there will be no water involved.
I know.
Come on, who's got another one?
Did you see my Facebook hit? Did anybody see my photo Facebook hit? Huh? The waterfall, the Oregon waterfall? Yeah.
Nature?
Gravity. Gravity's really important. Huh? So, at this point, why don't you all kind of just brainstorm what you think the game's about? We'll be back about 9:25, get seated quiet, and we'll get this thing kicked off.
No, you don't have to take yours. You're going to have other robots there to talk about it. Well, right, but that's for their sessions. People are coming to look at it. Oh, okay. They have a program.
She knows where it is.
Oh, okay, alright. Yeah, whenever you go for it, a big bowl of plastic. I'm gonna compliment you on your man for. Oh, yeah, good.
Everybody know Brian? Everybody know Brian?
Okay. All right. That's got really effective. I hope so.
They did quite well. They actually did the world last year. And then the all of our parents. Oh, and find out like Anthony, I don't know. Yeah, so we don't want to hook up with stuff because he wants to go to robot. Yeah, hard so we were doing kind of boarding. I think it will probably happen. They usually do well.
I'm checking. Give me a second. I'm checking. Give me a second.
Hi. Hi.
So I don't know if you heard about the meeting.
I haven't been on it very much lately. I haven't I've heard of it. Okay.
He's that guy.
But if you just proceed, you get something. If you win it up, you get and if you want to get money, he will be the
We're a very small team, and actually, I'll be gone next weekend. So, are there more forums you guys still want to not have any forums? Right, what's done? Okay. I'll have to look on the website.
Should we take our robot on?
All right, so I'll have to figure it out. Oh yeah, that would be great because they're very small group. We have like 2 people that have been on speaking before, and everybody else is brand new. Our coach moved to a different school, so they have me. So that would be great. Okay. Okay.
Should we take our robot on?
All right, well, I'll have to figure it out. Oh yeah, that would be great. They're very small. We have like 2 people that have been on speaking before, and everybody else is brand new. Our coach moved to a different school, so they have me. So that would be great. Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Should we take our robot on?
All right, I'll have to figure it out. Oh yeah, that would be great. They're very small. One just speaking before, and everybody else is brand new. Our coach moved to a different school, so they have me. So that would be great. Okay. Yeah.
complete, and I'm going to ask that you, during this first half hour, actually, when someone's talking, if you could not be talking, that would be appreciated. Because those around you would also like to hear it. If you're having a conversation, it's very difficult for other people to hear. Okay. Wow. Okay, secretly Cord accepts your phone and know what the game is. There you go. I would too. And, you ready to be 9:30? 9:29? Very good luck. Thank you for the live stream. We've had a few difficulties. We've got the new link out via the email and up on Facebook, and there's a redirect on the old link, so we had a switch with some audio issues. Are we all ready to go? Are we live now? We really are live now. Okay, so anytime we want to start, what we said, our audience will be tuning in about 9:30, so at 9:30 we will begin. Is it this? Is it now? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the 2014 Oregon First Tech Challenge. I am Kathy Peter, and I am your First Tech Challenge affiliate partner. I guess the new term for me is the Senior Program Manager for ORTOP. And this year, we are having an amazing year of transformation. Last year was a great year of First Tech Challenge. This year, ORTOP is now a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we are independent and on our own. So this is exciting news. We thank the Oregon University system for all of their assistance and support for our first 13 years, and now we are boldly going in places we've never gone before, and it's pretty darn exciting. So, welcome to all of you. I would like to acknowledge that we have my team committee members. Come on up here so I can, everyone on our live stream and our audience can see you. Judges, referees, inspectors, FTAs, board members, Andrew Schaefer, come on up here. So, it takes tons and tons of volunteers, our coaches, our mentors, and then tournament volunteers, and we have just a whole crew of folks. And without, really kind of stepped on time, I'm not going to go ahead and, we've got Chris Flanagan, Robert Clear, Alvin Noy, Steve Craft, judges, Dan Jordan, Dan Loringer, Tara Biggs, who's got one of our board members, Chris Hudson, a board member, Leroy Knuckles. You're going to be an FTA this year, aren't you? How awesome is that? Don Jones as our board member, and who's behind you? Oh, we have Bruce Schaefer, and Bruce Schaefer is our executive director of the Oregon Robotics Tournament Outreach Program and the founder of ORTOP. And so, and before I turn the mic over to him, I want to, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and change hit the space bar, honey. There we go. Thank you, sponsors. I want to thank Rockwell Collins, who is our largest sponsor of the First Tech Challenge program. When I say Intel Inside, I chose that logo for a reason, because how many Intel folks or retirees or current that we have that are current volunteers? We have a ton of Intel folks that are volunteers. And Google, out there in the gorge, and we are probably watching live in the Dalles.
And they're here.
And they're here.
Seth Commander's here.
Oh, wonderful. Seth, where are you?
Over there. To your right. To your right.
Right. Seth, thank you so much. Thank you to Google for your support out there. And Mr. Schaefer here has additional interesting sponsorship you'd like to highlight today.
That's right.
Here you go.
To elaborate just a little bit on what Kathy said, we've been fortunate to have the university system
as our home for 13, 14 years. They're still physically our home until next spring. We've not moved, but we're now a tenant without rent because we're a separate corporation. And as part of that, we've needed to up our game as far as fundraising. So we're always looking for new sponsors and new donors. And some of you have gone online and contributed $25 or $100 or $500. And I'm excited that a nonprofit that is associated with one of our teams, Hotwired, Spark Technology Education, has an announcement to make. Would Bradley Wang please come up? So I think I know what he's going to say, and you can probably see what he's carrying, but I'll turn the mic over to him.
On behalf of Spark Technology and Hotwired Robotics, we are proud to present ORTOP with our fake $1,000 check.
Inside the envelope, I'm going to guess, is a real $1,000 check. Thanks for your sponsorship. Did you guys want to say anything more?
Can we please get a picture with this check?
That's marketing, folks.
Great, thank you very much. So enjoy the day with all the rest of the teams. When they asked for a moment to do this award, they hinted that part of their motivation was other teams and other people in the audience might be inspired to be the next one to deliver real checks and or virtual checks. So see me if you have questions about donating and sponsoring. And thanks to all our sponsors, and I'll turn it back to Kathy.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you, Hotwired. Nice surprise. Okay. Huh? Boldly going where Oregon FDC has not gone before. Truckies here? Anybody?
We got you, Kathy. We got you.
Oh, good, good. Okay. I got to keep in mind that there's the camera. So the top it says Oregon Advancement System Pilot and Hybrid League/QT Play. This is a very important change for ORTOP. And I am going, there's no way in the amount of time that I have, I'm going to explain all of that. So I'm going to give you the Twitter version of it. We realized that our teams were changing, our growth was changing, the intensity of our teams are changing, and it was time that we adapted to a new model. And so I, along with the key committee members, there were about 16 of us, we drafted and we sent to FIRST a proposal, a comprehensive proposal that proposed a hybrid league play qualifying tournament system as well as a brand new advancement system.
The acronym is OHSAPAHALP.
That is not the acronym, but you get points. So what we saw that with the number of teams that we were going to have, and the forecast was for 200 plus teams because of the wonderful Oregon Department of Education grant, we're growing by leaps and bounds. FTC received of the ODE money, got half of it. So they were wrote some really great applications, and many teams were awarded, but we're growing. So at 200 teams, when we try to give it plays, competition time, and all of that, we realized that we would have to put on 16 or more qualifying tournaments. When you get in those kind of numbers, you've got to look at the end what kind of championship we would have for size. We can't do a 72 championship in one day. We have to do it one day, so we have about 50 as our limit. How are we going to do this? We went all the way back, restructuring it. So with just doing qualifying tournaments, it meant that only the Inspire Award winner and the captain of the winning Lions would be able to advance to the state championship. And that didn't feel right, especially after last year. We saw that at the end of our state championship, we advanced 13 teams to the Western Super Regional. And how good did that feel? Huh? Apparently none of you were at the Western. Just teasing, just teasing. But it felt good to advance more teams. So we restructured it. So this, I'm going to go into this in detail at the breakout sessions, the first one. But in detail, what's going to happen is that the forecasted 200 teams, 100 of you, according to my survey, will prefer to go a traditional qualifying tournament route. And about 100 of you, or 96 to be exact, will prefer to want to be in a league. So without a visual to show you, because of technical difficulties, those 100 teams will start somewhere in September, October, and they're going to go and they are going to go ahead and have qualifiers that are going to start in late January and early February. Their qualifiers are going to happen. There's going to be 4 of them. The league play side, they're going to form 8 leagues that will hold 4 meets each between the middle of October to the first week of December, about 2 weeks apart. Those 8 leagues will go into 4 league championships. So 2 leagues will form 1 league championship. So there'll be 4 league championships and 4 qualifiers. If you had basically 24 teams per each of those, you get approximately 200. If we get more than 200 teams, we're going to put them into the qualifying tournament round. So that first round, 4 league play championships, 4 qualifiers. Out of that, we're able to advance 12 teams from each one of those tournaments to go on to the next, which I had a working title, but first came up with a better one. We're calling them the Oregon FTC Super Qualifiers. And we are the first and only region in the entire nation that, the world, that is going to have super qualifiers. So the 12 teams from each of those 8 events are going to advance to the super qualifiers. And we're going to have super qualifier weekend, February 21st, 22nd. We'll hold Saturday, Sunday events at the Evergreen Aviation Space Museum and the South Meadows Middle School. So it's all going to happen in one weekend. Are we crazy? Yeah. We're going to need a lot of volunteers and all kinds of stuff. But I think it's going to be so exciting that we're going to advance all of the 36 teams from that event, approximately 9 teams from each tournament, plus the 12, I'm anticipating 12 hosts for our events. And that we will go on from there to having the state championship at Benson Polytechnic High School, March 7th and 8th. So that is kind of the schedule, and that gives you an overview. Now, why would you want to be a league play team? Why would you want to might be a qualifying tournament team? Maybe, I think that you should come and perhaps coaches. I'm going to ask coaches, not necessarily team members, unless your coach is not here and you came as a single team member, to stay in this room and listen to the reasons and the whys. We're also going to be going in the second half hour into the details of being a league play team, and also then what it is to be a tournament host. So if you have interest in that, then you should stay for those. So hit the button, dear. Okay. Deadlines. For the first time, I think, in FTC history, we now have a real schedule that is not being, when is it going to be, when and that. So what I did is I kind of decided on dates, and then we're going to find venues for these dates. I've got some of them have venues, some of them don't. Because that's going to be kind of driven by where the leagues are. And I think that we'll be able to come up with spots. Deadlines. So we do have the ORTOP FTC Team Support Awards. We have a very small amount of money this year, not nearly as much as we've had in the past because of our growth and going to a nonprofit. But we will be giving out modest team support, and those are due. Let's see. It says awarded by rounds, deadline by October 25th, or when funds are exhausted. I think we're going to be through the money way before October 25th. So if you're interested, I suggest get your application in fairly soon. And the first round announcements will be by September 12th. Then you see the things that are in red. Those relate to those that are going to be in league play. The deadline to apply for a slot on the league play roster is going to be this September 30th. You're also going to have to be by September 30th, I forgot to put this up there, a registered and paid team with First. So you got to have a paid registration in order for me to put you on a roster. And deadline to apply to be a league host is going to be September 24th, because I got to have those league hosts to know where we might be having all these leagues. So I've got like 6 days there to figure it all out. Deadline to apply for a slot in a qualifying tournament, if you're going that route, it's going to be December 1st. And then payments. Bruce Schaefer is going to let me be the bearer of news. And that is, I know last year our qualifying tournament fee was $75. This year we have to go to $150. I know that is doubling it, but we have so many more expenses. And we need to pay for them. And it's not just tournaments, but it's staff. We are now over 800. Well, this year, we will probably exceed 1,000 teams in this program. And at this time, this is a good time for me to introduce Ms. Laura D. Wetzel. Where are you, Laura D.? Laura D., there, come on up. All the way to the front. Laura D. is now my new partner in crime. Because Laura D., come on, everybody got to see you. They can't see you on the TV yet. There we go. Laura D. is our new ORTOP First Lego League program manager. So she's taken 500 of my teams, and you're going to manage those, right? Of course. Yes. That is awesome. Now here's the even better news. Well, Laura D. is moving her and her family, her husband, her 3 beautiful children from Idaho to be here, okay? When she was in Idaho as a volunteer.
First AmeriCorps Vista.
Yes, First AmeriCorps Vista Volunteer Service to America. She ran the FTC program pretty much. So she has all of the experience and knowledge of FTC, and she's got some FLL, so she's going to be really versed in FLL, and she has that FTC knowledge. So we are going to be your team to roll all of this out. So with the new staff person, she didn't volunteer to do this, folks. This is a real job. So we have increased costs among moving and all kinds of things. So thank you. You can always have, and you know, where's your awesome cell phone thing? That's right on the gaming room. Okay. We went through the deadlines. Drum roll, please. I need a drum roll here. 13 Oregon teams will advance to the FTC West Super Regional Championship again. I think that still makes us the largest number of teams advancing to the West Super Regional. Woo! And we will not be in Sacramento. We are going to be in the heart of downtown Oakland, California, at the beautiful Oakland Marriott Center. It is 2 blocks from the BART station, and it's just about 8 blocks from Lake Merritt. There is numerous hotels right around it. The complex itself has 2 hotels attached to it. I've looked at the space. I looked at the site committee space and been on the committee meetings. Robert looked at the contract, and it's going to be awesome. And so that is definitely a goal to advance or to think about. Now, here's some other news: is that we had 4 teams that participated. Maybe more than 4. We had 4 teams that participated in the FTC West Washington Championship last year, or FTC Washington Championship, correct? 4 of you? Right? Yeah. And you did really well up there. And I think that all 4 of you advanced to the FTC West Super Regional out of Washington. This year, we've had discussions with First WA, and we have mutually decided with our introduction of league play that Oregon teams are going to stay on the Oregon side and Washington teams are going to stay on the Washington side. So you will not have the opportunity to double up. There you go. How are we doing on time? Somebody give me a time check. 9:48. This is awesome. Okay, hit it again. And can you hand me that document right there? There we go. I have some special shout outs. First of all, Mr. Dale Jordan, where are you? Mr. Field Builder, get up here. Dale has been working in what we like to refer to as the Oregon FTC Research and Development Lab at an undisclosed location.
And storage locker.
And storage locker. It's basically Dale's pole barn out in North Plains. And he has been working as a volunteer directly for the National FTC organization, and he has been exploring thoroughly and completely
Dale, Don Jones as our board member, and who's behind you? Oh, yeah, Bruce Schaefer. And Bruce Schaefer is our executive director.
Dale has written a white paper. It was just published up on
and the founder of ORTOP.
Source page. So, Dale, congratulations. And thank you so much for your hard work. Would you like to say
I want to.
Okay, for the breakout session that I'm doing, I'm going to cover the key points and what teams need to do to keep their NXT running during these matches. We've discovered a lot over the last years and a lot of input from across the country and people that are experts in the field. So I think we've narrowed it down to things that should be pretty easy for teams to handle and just keep things running.
Right. So, you may want to select a team member or so to go to Dale's breakout session. Just think about it. Everybody else in the country has to read that document. You get to talk to him live today about it. We're also going to have some, probably for those of us that are live streaming, watching us, that we're going to also do perhaps a Google chat or at least teleconference calls so that you can talk to Dale directly about the NXT lockup issues and he can make a kind of a presentation. So we're figuring that out, so we wanted to do that. Also, shout out to someone that's not here but on East Coast watching. Shout out to Mr. Kevin Rudd. Kevin is one of the first 3 people who founded Oregon First Tech Challenge. Woo! Back in 2006. He worked for Intel and then has spent a number of years teaching at Annapolis at the Military Academy and in Maryland, and now he's just literally moved back in Oregon like a couple of weeks ago. And I'm fully anticipating that you'll be joining our FTC planning committee, Kevin. And while he was in Maryland, he was asked to be on the FTC game design committee. So that game design, the game you see today, Kevin Rudd had a part in designing it for you. So that's kind of cool. Okay, hit it, one more. New this year. Whoa. So breakout sessions, that's where I need the clip that might, yeah, that thing. There we go. So we're going to be in the cafeteria, and so I was going to be here doing things, and there's going to be things in the cafeteria. We've changed all that. So here in the library, I'm going to be talking about league play, traditional QT play, details about joining a league, being a league host. That's all going to happen here in breakout sessions. And then instead of the cafeteria, in rooms 12, 14, they're all together, Steve? Are they all grouped together? You can find them all? Okay. They're all, if you go directly across out of here and go to the rotunda, that's that set of classrooms that is right across from the library. What to expect in judging, and the new judging is self-assessment sheet starting your engineering notebook. It will be led by our championship judge advisors. In 214, NXT lockups, that's where you're going to meet up with Dale. In 212, what to expect at inspection. Where's Galen? Is Galen here? Galen! Great, come on up here because you're going to be saying something in a couple of minutes. And of course, we've already arranged some robots to come into the session with Galen, so you can actually look at the robot inspections. And then in 210 is going to be understanding the key components of competitive FTC robots. And then all of those sessions are going to repeat in the same rooms. So the word is you should divide and conquer, divide up your teams, whoever's here, pick out what sessions are going to be best for you. We are in the future going to have an advice for rookie coaches getting started, like a teleconference call and Google
do a little hangout. The NXT lockup issue also will be one of focus of our continuing FTC learning opportunities. Advancement system pilot and league play also will be questions and answer that. And I also want to announce on October 18th for rookie teams here, rookie teams that are doing the live stream. At Benson High School will be Rookie Workshop Day for the Benson Bot Fest. This is what year number what? 6, 7? 7 or 8. So at Benson High School, but it's rookies only. We're going to have hands-on programming. Robot C. We're going to be doing other things. Robot C programming and talking about engineering notebooks, mechanical design. What's the Samantha unit? Who is she? Who is she? Why is she so important to us? And other topics. So that'll be rookie. We'll be able to sign up on the website. So rookie teams only can sign up to come to that workshop. First come, first served. I know. And so I would like to, at this point, have Mr. Robert Sweeter here talk to you about the Twitter version of changes in judging.
I'm not sure I can do it in 42 characters, so I'll try to be brief. However, we have 3 of our championship judges here today. We're the judge advisors. In the back, we have Al Benoit and Steve Krasik. Our 4th is down in Newport getting a tour of a NOAA ship today. We will be hosting over in one of the classrooms a session where we talk about judging. Rookie teams especially, if you haven't been through judging, you'll want to send someone to come and listen to what we have to say. We have insights into it. We've all judged multiple times. I was the judge advisor for Western Regionals Championships last spring. I may be doing it again this spring, not certain yet. But we have deep understanding of the judging process. We'll be talking about the self-assessment that first is encouraging everyone to do. It's a really good idea. And we'll be focusing also on the engineering notebooks and what you need to know. Our engineering notebooks are vitally important. If you haven't started working on them yet, you should start today. Your first entry. We went to Kick-Off. Who's next?
And we'll get a summary sheet out to all of you about the key changes in judging as soon as they write that up. Galen, you do want to talk about key changes in inspection. Galen Kawamoto, one of our chief inspectors, lead inspectors. There you go, Galen. Stand right here.
Okay, 2 minutes.
This is your advertisement.
I talk slow. Okay, we're going to be actually running the inspection session in the back, in room 212. This year, we're going to do something a little bit different than we've done in previous years. A bunch of Benson students here are going to actually take you through an inspection on a robot, just to show you what inspection looks like rather than try to tell you what inspection is like as we did in previous years. That's the big thing. There's one major change in rules this year. Preformed parts, if you're an experienced team, preformed parts are now allowed. But there's a restriction that says only 1 degree, they can only move in 1 degree of freedom. Now, the way I read that, a part that moves this way is allowed. But if it moves this way and it moves this way, it's not allowed. Now, the real problem then comes down to there's a huge gray area in this. And I don't know where that gray area starts and ends.
But the forum will help us sort it out, right?
The forum. Read the forum. If you have a question about whether a part is allowed, post it on the forum and bring the results to inspection. I was talking to Leroy just a little while back. Inspectors are bitter, vindictive people. Show us up.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Judges are bitter.
Gracious professionalism. Gracious professionalism. Jeez. Okay. Do we have another slide? Oh, it's the game video. Are we ready? Yeah. Okay, last year, we were awesome. We sent 18 teams to the FTC West Super Regional. We had an awesome state championship. We sent 5 teams to the World Championship, and we kicked butt. So, we had Team of Fufa in the elimination rounds. They were in the top-ranked alliance on the Edison division, and top-ranked on the Franklin division was Hotwired, who went on to win the FTC championship. Yay. So, they've got a trophy that says, shh. They have a trophy that says, we won it all last year. So let's keep it. Let's go back to back. Here, hit the game. You know how to do that part. Okay. I guess we're Apple and Mac people here. Or Apple and PC people. Okay. Here we go. And
Welcome to our 2014-2015 First Tech Challenge.
Hi, I'm Woody Flowers, and I've been part of FIRST for a long time. I really love how FIRST helps us learn that working hard can be fun and profoundly satisfying. In FIRST, we do our best work while helping others and treating folks with respect and kindness. This ethos is something I like to call gracious professionalism. As you go through this first season, please remember that it is extremely important. In fact, it's expected that you practice gracious professionalism. Everyone. FIRST students, coaches, parents, volunteers too. It's not always easy, but it will make FIRST a sweet experience. And it can have a big positive impact in all areas of your life. So go be kind and creative.
Rockwell Collins welcomes all of our teams, mentors, coaches, volunteers, and parents to this year's season.
As a scientist, an engineer, and a business leader, I've always believed that learning is not a spectator sport. That's why I appreciate the FIRST motto, Sport for the Mind. We at Rockwell Collins are big FIRST Tech Challenge supporters. Each year, we are proud to donate $1 million to support FIRST programs. And our employees log thousands of hours as mentors and tournament volunteers.
As a longtime FTC referee, judge, and hardware inspector, it's been easy for me to see how FTC provides the science, technology, engineering, and math skills used here at Rockwell Collins. Whether students pursue a career in avionics, programming, robotics, or the fine arts, FTC will teach them skills they'll use the rest of their lives.
As an FTC coach, I can tell you, FTC is more than just robots. Rockwell Collins and I love how FTC teaches students to network and communicate with others, and live a lifestyle of gracious professionalism. My FTC team is a great example.
FTC teaches us to work together in high-pressure situations, help each other out, and solve big problems, and at the same time, improve the world around us.
All skills I use here as an engineer at Rockwell Collins.
Thanks for joining us for another exciting season of FIRST Tech Challenge, and may the tubes be ever in your favor.
FIRST programs inspire innovation, creativity, and help foster students' self-confidence, communication, and leadership. Welcome to FIRST Tech Challenge, and this year's game, Cascade Effect. A team consists of 2 driver operators, a coach, and a robot. The robot must be built from materials specified in the game manual and fit within an 18-inch sizing cube. But after the match begins, the robot can grow to any size. Each match is played with 4 randomly selected teams, 2 per alliance. Your alliance partner from one match may be your opponent in another. The game is played on a square playing field with a foam tile floor and low walls. The scoring elements are 160 plastic balls, 40 large baseball size, and 120 small golf ball size. 152 of these balls begin the match in the center field structure. Each robot can start the match with one large and one small ball loaded onto their robot. The center field structure rotates to one of 3 random positions and is set only after the teams have placed their robots on the field. IR beacons are located on each side of the center field structure to help guide robots in autonomous mode. Each alliance has 3 rolling goals, 30 centimeters, 60 centimeters, and 90 centimeters in height. The field also has alliance-specific ramps and parking zones. The goal of Cascade Effect is to score balls into the rolling goals and then to move these goals into scoring areas. Teams will play in 2 versus 2 alliances, with robots starting in front of their respective driver stations, one robot on the floor and the other on the ramp. During the 30-second autonomous period, teams use their pre-programmed robots to earn points by performing a variety of tasks, including driving from the platform to the playing field floor, releasing a cascade of balls from the center structure by knocking down the kickstand, scoring preloaded autonomous balls into any rolling goal, scoring preloaded autonomous balls into the center goal located on the center structure, and moving rolling goals into the parking zone. During the 2-minute driver control period, teams will earn points by scoring balls in the rolling goals. Balls scored in a 30-centimeter high rolling goal are worth 1 point for every centimeter above the goal base that they reach. Balls scored in a 60-centimeter high rolling goal are worth 2 points per centimeter. And balls scored in a 90-centimeter high rolling goal are worth 3 points per centimeter. The end game is the last 30 seconds of the match. Teams can continue gameplay, but are also able to earn points by moving the robots and rolling goals into the parking zone and completely off the floor. However, if a goal tips over, all points will be lost. Teams can also attempt to score balls into the center goal during the end game. These are also measured by centimeter height, and since the base of these goals starts at 90 centimeters high, these valuable points can add up quickly. To avoid penalties, read the rules carefully. Among others, some basic rules include robots may not control more than 5 balls at any time. You may not interfere with your opponent's rolling goals. You must stay outside of your opposing alliance's parking zone and ramp area during the endgame. And if you tip over your opposing alliance's rolling goal at any time during the driver control period, your opposing alliance will be awarded points equivalent to a full rolling goal. Please be sure to read the entire game manual and follow the Q&A game forum for the complete rules and penalties. Thanks to your gracious professionalism. Have fun and turn one.
Wow, what do you think? Now, it was great that Oregon came home with the FTC championship along with 2 other wonderful teams. Well, hold on 1 second. Well, you got a whole season here. Hang on. But I think it was especially nice that they actually gave us a real Northwest name this year, Cascade Effect. That is pretty awesome. So in the book, please, I have already started mine. This is my great big book of everything. It's got game manual 1 and game manual 2 and the field setup instructions and all bunch of notes that I've already started grabbing from emails that pertain to me as the affiliate partner. All of your teams maybe should have multiple copies of this, including your engineering notebook. You know, give out those tasks. Who's absolutely reading that game manual thoroughly? I mean, don't let the game manual be your first chance of looking at it as being at a tournament. Or the fact that you didn't look at the allowable parts, or you didn't look at something else. The most successful teams read the manuals. Sometimes we've talked about this as being a science, technology, engineering program. First and foremost, this is a literacy program. It is a literacy program, a literacy program, a literacy. This is all about reading and writing and documentation. You got to do all of that. So that's my little homework lesson to all of you. And I would like to now introduce our head referee, Dan Loringer. Erin Curl wanted to be here, but she has a family emergency and could not. So Dan has stepped up on very short notice with very little time to read that document. And he is, I don't think that we can get the microphone all the way back there, But if you turn around, we have the game set up, and Dan is going to go through the highlights for you. And I have, can you get game sheets? If teams, I have only like 100 of these. If you want to come up for a one-page game, you can kind of grab one, but only grab like a couple per team and share them. So this is the one-page game thing.
Go get one, Shannon, or two.
Let's see if we can get the, we're going to go live stream over to the field at this time. Thank you.
Then someone knocked over the live stream.
Because the golf, the baseball thing, you gotta have like a careful not to step on the yeah, we need to right? So you just if you put golf balls in, right? You get points for the one at 2 centimeters, the points for the one at 4 centimeters, the points for the one at 6 centimeters.
autonomous and at the end of the match as everything comes to rest. No changes there. No detaching parts. Control of the balls. So as I mentioned, you can be in control of 5. Traditional ruling still applies as of the date of this, which was 2 days ago. You can control 5, but the definition of control is a ball that is either in your frame or trapped under your frame or in some kind of an apparatus that holds them that travels in more than one direction. So if you have a push bar, that is not control, because if you back away or turn side to side, they will not follow with you. However, if you have an hard racket or a curl, that is immediately considered control, because if you turn your robot, it will still catch and drag. So there's nothing to say today that you can't have a bar to kind of herd the balls if you want to. I'm sure it's like herding cats. But keep that in mind for control. Let's see. Autonomous balls, each robot will be given one of each size, and I'll open the field up here shortly so you can see these, but they're equivalent to the size of a baseball and a golf ball. Each robot can have one of each, and these are designed to be scored during the autonomous period, or they can just be held and scored automatically at the beginning of the match after autonomous if you don't have an autonomous program. There are some caveats to these. You can score these. However, if you do happen to dump the buckets out during autonomous, if you pick up any of those and then subsequently score those, the entire autonomous score is canceled. So you want to play these balls, but not the ones that get dumped. So keep that in mind when you're designing your autonomous system. So don't just scoop them and go find a bucket and dump them. There's a camera? Sorry about the view for everybody on remote viewing here. Let's see, we talked about the balls having to be collected off the scoring field before they're played. They cannot start directly in the robot with the exception of the autonomous balls. Let's see, balls that are in contact with a robot or the alliance goal at the end of the match have a 0 score. This has been traditionally held, so if you're in contact, it's canceled. The robot must not touch them, and they must not touch the goal for them to count. Let's see. You may score on the opposing alliance's goals. So this is a strategy we've seen over the last few years, where if you're absolutely dominating a team and you're trying to get ranking points, you can help the other team score. However, keep in mind, there are some massive scores available both in autonomous and in-game. So be strategic if you do that, but that is allowed. Let's see if there's anything else that's exceptional here. As I mentioned, you can move the ball tubes. There's a very specific role. You can grab the blue portion of the frame and drag it around by that, and whatever means you decide. All right, so with that being said, you cannot actively grab the plastic tubing. This is decently strength tube, but it can be broken, so we want to try to protect these, so you cannot actively grab the tube in the plastic areas. So you can grab here, there's little places where you can hook, or however you need to do that here, or grab the sides, but you cannot grab them like this. Robots don't have the pressure sensors that we have in our hands, so they can be damaged. Do not push any alliance's rolling goal into the opposing alliance's parking zone. So you cannot, if you're a blue team, you cannot park this in the opposing alliance's end goal. You know, that major penalty, keep in mind on, you can actually be disqualified for that if it's blatant. So with that, I think that's the worst of the big ones this year. So at this point, we're gonna run out of time here in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to turn it open to questions. Oh, sorry, yes. I missed a couple key points here. So we've got an IR beacon, and this is same as last year. It's just a new design for the beacon, and it doesn't move. It just sits on a permanent pedestal here that I know I lost. However, this platform is not set up on the caster yet, but this can rotate and will rotate either 45 degrees or 90 degrees on center. So what will happen is you'll place your robots at the beginning, again, one on the floor and one on the pedestal, and after you're done placing it, we will come out and we'll move this into its new position. So this is easier to move on the actual setup. We're missing the turntable here. But this will move, and so the beacon is designed to allow you to find where your kickstand is or where your baskets are electronically. Yeah. So it's a good reminder for everybody. If you're 18 and older, you're not a student. Therefore, you have to get your students to ask the questions. So this is all season long, every year. So it's a good time to start developing that habit.
Is there any points for if you cascade the balls first?
So the question is there points if you cascade the balls? This is one of the autonomous goals. There are, I believe, 5 or 6 with a total of approximately 260 points available. Some of those are very difficult, and they include putting a ball into one of the baskets and also moving the baskets into a target zone. So driving off the ramp, dispensing the balls, loading the balls into the baskets, and moving the baskets around. So there's a lot there. Follow?
That bar holding up all the balls.
It's just a release mechanism. You have to do it to get the ball. During autonomous, there are points associated, but it's not a race condition. It's either you do it or you do not do it.
Is there any use for the bottom section, like the being under the yellow part?
So the question is, try to get for the camera here. Is there any functional use for this or in here? I'm going to have to defer to Dale on this one, but I believe this is one of the end game scoring goals. Again, I've only had this for about 2 hours, so I'm still learning. But I believe that is one of the end game scoring goals.
I believe it is
Yeah. Bear with me one moment here while I scan this quickly. Okay, so this does denote this. So this is considered a center goal, and this is, again, a stacking, although it looks like a common goal. And it says it's 6 points per centimeter in height. So that should answer the question, is that yes, it is a goal, but it's only an in-game goal. Okay? So the question is, on these plastic tubes, can you touch the plastic at all, or is it the rule only for grasping? Right now, you can push on it. The main idea is not to crush them. The question is, these poles that are supporting the platforms, they're color-coded for the red and blue teams. Is it required that you only touch your own? I've not seen anything to that definition yet. It appears to be generic. However, my understanding is the goal is to knock over yours for autonomous points, and ideally not have the other team get those points as well. So I would interpret that as only your own is the ideal solution. How will the tubes be arranged at the beginning of the game? As you see them over here in the red zone, we've got the small one diagonally opposite with the medium one, and the tall one in the back. That will be reset every game at the beginning. So the question is, if you knock over one of the tubes, but then correct it, you still get the penalty. The answer is yes. Because if there's anything in it, those balls will roll out and be descored. So again, and then it's an automatic penalty for the full value of the tube. Going over here, I've kind of ignored this side. No? More questions on this side? So the question is, what are the scoring points for this goal here? Okay. It's actually not covered on this game summary. I believe it's height-based, similar to these, but it's only available during endgame, so it's still a height goal. So the question is, if you're tossing a ball, trying to get it into the goal, and you hit another robot, is it a penalty? And there's some general rules, and they should be covered in the safety about the energy of a ball. You are allowed to toss them, but there's certain height limitations, certain distance limitations, things of that nature. And obviously you want to be very careful, because if you start throwing them out of the field, those are penalties. So if it throws over and bounces and goes out of the field, that can be a penalty. Go ahead. The question is, how many balls can you have during autonomous? Each robot may have one large ball and one small ball, so a total of 4 per alliance, 2 of each. So the follow-up question is, if they're dumped from the stand and you pick them up during the autonomous period, so at that point standard rules apply. You're allowed to have 5 in possession, and again, you don't want to score them because they will offset your autonomous score and zero it. However, because it was non-intentional, you won't get a 5 ball possession penalty. However, at the beginning of the driver period, you must immediately correct that and get rid of any beyond 5. And we have to make sure that they touch the floor before they can be scored. So ideally, you want to be able to just dump them all and then restart. Go ahead. So the correction is, can you score the balls from both sides and not just the ones that are located on your color? There's no distinction between them. We wouldn't be able to keep track if we tried. So yeah, there's approximately 160 balls total in the field, and they're all fair game for everybody. So the question is, because they're all the same, can you dump from both sides? So as I said over here, in autonomous, the goal is to knock off only yours so that you get the bonus points. There's nothing to stop you from coming around and dispensing the second side during driver period. More questions? Over here. Do I know what the size of these are? I don't know. They're approximately 3 inches in diameter. That'll be well covered in the game manual. Okay. More questions? Oh, here we go. So the question is, are there limitations to what you can do with the pole that's used as a kickstand? I have not seen anything that says you can or cannot use it. That would be a great forum question. It will certainly be left in the field, so it could theoretically be used as an object. So if I understand the question correctly, is if the balls are dumped from here, hit the floor, and bounce into a basket, do they count? Yes. So that is one of the question is, what happens and what scoring is associated with putting these catch tubes in the end goals. So during the end game, there are bonus points associated with those. And it looks like it's 10 points per item. So that would be, this would be 10 points. And then this one would be 10 points, this one would be 10 points. You just get the height bonus, is normally defined. Okay, we got time for about 3 more. In the back. So the question is, do the ball sizes themselves make a difference, or is it the cumulative height only that makes the scoring? The way the game is designed is it's height based only. So you could have this filled up to the 45 marker with all small balls or with all large balls, and it would score the same. So the small ones are a little easier to handle, I think, and get in. but they don't take up as much room, so they'll have less scoring effect in that regard. Okay, back here. So the question is, with the 5-ball limitation, is there a mix, or there's no requirement on them being all the same size, but it's a total of 5. So you could have 5 small, 5 large, or 2 large, 3 small, as long as it's only 5. The question is, for this, I'm going to have to defer that one to Dale.
Somewhere on there will be 3 stickers, 1, 2, 3. And then the referees at the beginning, after their thing, they'll throw the random dice, and then they will actually just position it in one of those 3 spots for the IR beacon, and then it stays in that position for the rest of the match.
So you're calling a rotating mechanism. It's more really a anchor to the mat so it doesn't get pushed around. Basically, the plate that goes underneath the mat keeps it from sliding all over the place and keeps it fixed in that location. And the rotation should only really happen during the pregame, unless you guys actually grab a call and try and rotate it. And we may not like that.
Is that clear enough? Okay. One more? Sorry, gotta raise your hand higher. So the question is, in the autonomous mode with the robot that's on the platform, once you drive off the platform, does that count for points? And my understanding is yes, that is one of the objectives, is purely to drive off the platform. You'd have to refer to the manual, I don't have them memorized yet. Traditional definitions from previous years apply. If any robot is bearing weight on the platform, it does not count as fully supported by the floor. So you want to make sure you're all the way off. Okay, Kathy?
So, from the affiliate partner perspective, see this stuff here and that stuff there? That's suspending materials. So this year, First Tech Challenge has made it possible for all of our teams to actually purchase these materials, all pre-cut, pre-fabbed, and all you got to do is assemble them, which according to Dale Jordan takes how long?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. And you can have a field up and ready. Now, what do you say? We don't want to buy a whole field. The price for the center goal and half the balls, 1 ramp, like say the blue ramp and the blue ones. So that would be $300 plus shipping. If you want to buy the whole thing, it's $450 plus shipping, which is about $100 and something. Okay. I asked at the partner conference if teams could specify if they wanted blue or red, and you will be able to. And the advantage is, if you're doing that, if we have enough teams that are buying, this is a great option, rather than going to Home Depot, buying the materials, doing the, measure twice, cut once, it's all done for you. All you need is a rivet gun and just a few basic tools to put it together. A rivet, what do they call that, Dale, a rivet thing?
Rivet gun.
A rivet popper thing, okay. So, it is a great opportunity. You'll have the information up on the first site for actually ordering these. If we know enough teams that have half fields, red or blue, we could use those for practice fields at competitions. And that we will hold off on the number that we actually will purchase. And that will help us save a little bit of money, and every money that we save, we can save for you. So, that's that, and it is about 10:45. Let's see, 10:36. I think we've got pretty much all of our questions answered. We're going to, at this point, give you time to decide what breakout sessions you want to go to. There are one-pagers I had on the front desk up there. Mr. Steve Fulton is requesting, for those of you that are going to the breakout sessions other than league play, that you exit out the doors of the library, and there will be black-shirted Tiger Tech team members to help you get where you're going. Thank you all. Live stream will continue with the lead play discussion. Oh, wait, we gotta do this. Ready for this? Yay. There you go.
Hi. Hello. Get someone's attention.
Okay. Anyone who has something to say, he's our lead inspector. Hang in there.
Remember, we're vindictive people. When I'm looking, I saw one team with a sizing box. If we have a sizing box in-house, I'd appreciate it in room 212 for the inspection breakout session.
Sizing box. If you sizing box, bring it to room 212. Oh yeah, you can cut. Yeah, go ahead. Give us a feel. I appreciate it. If you put all the balls back, that would be great. Set up traps.
I'm looking at the screen over there. I'm looking at the screen. I have to. There you go.
There's a level there, right?
So you're gonna see your Google Glass now? Yeah. See? And then here are some of the commands, right? And then main does it sometimes. Just take a picture.
You can actually try it out because it was like shutting down.
Yeah, it does that sometimes still.
Is this like the...
So what breakup session are you doing?
Huh?
What breakup session are you doing?
I don't know if we're actually gonna go to them because we're like, we already recorded.
That's weird. No. Fine for me, it's just not working. Goats.
Okay, Glass.
How much did that cost? It's $1,500. You own it? It's yours? Why is the screen so small? I thought it would be bigger.
Right.
Oh yeah, because it's not connected.
Where do you tap this?
You slide down.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, and you can like look down.
Yeah, there's more. And then if I add more apps to it, I can get some more.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, right as you put it.
Take a picture. I just want to see that. I'm gonna take a picture of you. Okay, Glass.
And it has like a angle, so it'll go down. So you can just look up.
Wait. You see? Okay, Glass. Okay, Glass. Delete this.
No, that's not. You have to actually touch it.
Stop. Okay, Glass. Take a video.
Good. Is it on? It's on. Definitely on. Yeah, it's on. No, like sometimes if it doesn't see where your eyes are. It's the calendar or what it's doing is
You're standing in front of the camera.
Hey, where's the judging system? Do you have the room number? Wait, can we have
We're leaving our school at 2:30.
Where's our microphone? Is this where the league play's going to be?
If anybody wants to see this year's first Lego rig, it's under the circulation sign up in that direction here in the library. First Lego rig is focusing on education and technology and education.
Basically, you have to build a Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Ball here on the Twitter and the basket basketball, right?
There we go. I'm going to need a... Okay. Can I ask for one volunteer that can be my PowerPoint slide person? Right.
PowerPoint now.
There we go. Oh, I think we got a team member here. Have to take notes. Great. So when I point, I'm going to go right ahead. Okay. And I got this.
All right, everybody, just sit here.
Welcome. So everyone, I'm going to ask that if you are in the back and you're investigating the game, that you really, really keep your voices down so that this conversation, this breakout session can continue. Welcome. We have about a half hour. Some of this I've explained. I know this is somewhat of a complicated thing, but we're going to go ahead and hit my first slide. There we go. Steve, is there any way that we can have the lights cut off in this part of the...
Yes.
I think that would be great. So why are we doing this? Why do we have a new tournament structure? As explained in my opening, we have a sizable team growth. Adding more qualifying tournaments just didn't make sense because it really reduced the number of teams we could advance. And that was primary reason. The other part of the reason was that, how does this do for the live stream? Can we still see the screen for the live stream? Can we actually see the actual screen itself? Or maybe we still have to have the lights on?
It's no better with lights on.
It's no better or worse?
It's worse now.
It's worse now, so turn it back on. Yeah. Okay, maybe black ink next time. Okay.
If you would close those windows over there, the AC is on, trust me. And
Oh, really?
If you drop the blinds, that will also help.
Good, we're gonna have a hot day today. Who would have thought it? So, what's gonna happen is that these approximate 200 teams, we are forecasting that, and we're hoping that 96 of you will want to be part of a league. And it'll all work out there, the geographic things work out, and we might have a league host there, and lots of stuff, okay? So there's got to be a bit of a perfect storm for a league to actually happen, and we're going to try to make sure that does. For all the teams that don't want to be in a league, and there are reasons, and that's primarily what this first half hour is about, is that you'll do qualifying tournaments. Can you hit the next slide? Okay. So we will have, each league will have 12 teams in it. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I guess I, whatever it is. I got them alphabetically. And then 2 of those leagues will end up forming a league championship. So why would you want to do a league? Veteran teams that are ready to go in September, they're ready to build a robot, that they will have something together by the end of October, by the week of October 20th. So we've set 4 league weeks to be league play. The idea is that anytime during that week, the league meet can happen. It might be an after-school meet. It could be a Saturday meet. But it has to happen somewhere between Monday and Sunday of that week. And then it would be October 20th, and then the next 2 weeks after that is you'll end up, the last league play, we've skipped for Thanksgiving weeks, and so you end up with the last one happening the week of December 1st through 7th. What do you get out of league play? Can you go ahead and click that next one? Okay, there we go. October 20th, November 3rd and 9th, November 17th, 23rd, December 1 through 7th. So what I said already to several people here is that when you show up on October 20th, and I think, anyone here already participate in the league before? You did, great. 3 of you. Notice 3 of you, Afufa, Batters of Black, Hotwired, they all went to the World Championship. There is some value to being in a league. It's called iteration. You show up on that first week, maybe your robot can only maybe push one of those goals, can't even get something in that 30 centimeter goal. Maybe you could try to put something in the 30 centimeter goal. Maybe you can go up and down a ramp. Maybe it just sits in that box and you got a human player. What's the value? You have 12 teams that you can be looking at their robots. Team members could be talking to other team members. Maybe you came up with that you thought was going to be your surefire way to get those balls in there, and you try it that first week, and you realize you've gone down the wrong path. This gives you a chance to go back for the next 2 weeks, change it up, change new ideas, come back that second week, try it out again. So in the course of this, you'll play 5, 10, 15, 20 matches. Maybe even more if you've got time. You at least can play more than 5 matches if they all agree upon time constraints that they can do that. Then we're going to do champions of that. So go ahead. So this all tells about advancing that. We've kind of talked about that already.
Did you want us to hold the questions for the end?
Hold questions for just a moment. Go ahead. One more. Go ahead. One more. There we go. Okay. Obviously, I didn't write that part, so we're going to talk about the value of it. So you've got various iterations, and you're improving your robot. So you've got those 10 matches that's going to go forward to your league championship. Those 10 matches will be cumulatively added up, and at the end of the qualifying rounds in the league championship, those totals will be added to your total at the league championship after the qualifying rounds. So there is some value. I mean, there is an incentive, but it is not going to be such make and break that showing up the qualifying tournament is going to eliminate you from going on. Because remember, we're going to advance 12 teams from that league championship. So that includes judged awards, winning alliances. So you would look down the list, and I would have to go through it. in the game manual. But there's a real incentive to coming to the league championship because everybody still has a chance to advance on, no matter how you did in the league play. So the league play, from our perspective, is a learning ground. It's a testing ground. It's a networking and communication ground for your teams to network with other teams, to try stuff out. It is a great definition of gracious professionalism and especially cooperation. You're cooperating and competing over a course of 4 weeks. And so what happens at so let's take questions.
Okay.
Right there first.
Does it cost something every time you go?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, this is my second. Why don't we, at this point, why don't I pick up another set of slides? Because we've moved through this. We take this initial set of questions. I'm going to move to the next set of slides. Because I think in some ways this is just one big discussion as opposed to two. So
I guess I'm trying to still wrap my head around that you would play basically 4 weeks.
Right.
You'd have league play, and then there's separate league championships.
okay, can you hit the back button?
Yeah, I missed that part.
Okay, there we go. So,
I'm not the only one.
back one more. Okay, back one more. So there we go. 4 league meets, then the league championships. There'll be 4 of them. 4 of the leagues will be meeting in 2 league championships the weekend of December 13th, 14th.
And Kathy, did
Yes.
I understand it doesn't matter how you do in the league play in those first 4 weeks? Everybody goes to the league championship.
Everybody goes to league championship.
That wasn't clear.
Everybody advances.
To league championship.
Right, to league championships.
Okay.
So if you're in a league, you go to your league championship. You as a whole league. So I'm going to take one whole league and another whole league, put you together, and you're going to make one league championship.
And does that run more like a tournament?
That is run exactly like a qualifying tournament. Okay? So when you get up to league champion, I'll be right with you, Vic. When you get up to league championship, we'll have 2 of them on December 13th and 14th, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, and 2 of them on January 10th and 11th. So in those 2 weekends, we'll have all 4 league championships over.
And there'll be 24 teams in those league championships.
24 teams in each of those league championships, 96. So my goal is to have 12 teams per league, so it'll be 24 team event, so 24 and 24 is 48. So 24 league championship, so 24 from each of those, and 12 will actually advance from each of those. So half the teams from that league championship will advance onto the super qualifier. Okay, we getting this?
So 12 out of 96 team advances.
No.
12 out of 24.
You have 24, 12 out of 24. So we put you together 12 team leagues into one league championship, and 12 teams will move on. Okay?
So the league process will
did
filter
you
from
all-
96 to 48. The league championships will filter from 96 to 48.
96 to 48, right.
So then that 48 goes to the super qualifier?
No, out of the 4, so they will have, 48 will go to the super qualifier. On the other half, we've had our qualifying tournaments that have happened. We've had 4 of them, of 24 teams each. So approximately 100 teams, more or less, will be put into qualifying tournaments. And they also will each advance 12 teams. So approximately 50 out of the qualifying tournaments and 50 out of the league play championships. That's 100 teams go to 4 super qualifiers of approximately 24 teams each. And out of those 4 super qualifiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, each one will advance 9 teams because we have to leave room for the hosting teams. Because I still need league hosts for hosting league championships and qualifiers.
And then they go to state.
And they go to state.
How do you determine who's on each league?
That is a good question. At that point, can I bring up my other slide set? Okay.
So those that are not going to super qualifier from the league directly, they will still go to the qualifiers.
Okay.
Kathy, just one more question.
Okay. So at the league championship level, okay, you have your league championship. 12 teams move on. 12 teams, they're done.
Oh, they're done.
They're done. One and done. There is no other opportunity to play. That is one of the drawbacks of this. It's making it a little more competitive. But if you go to a league, you've had 4 opportunities to play. This is all about giving teams as many plays as we can. League play is an option to do that. It gives you more plays. Go to league championship, 1 and done, to move on.
But if you only went to one qualifier.
If you went to one qualifier,
it'd be the same.
it's the same.
Or you go to 2 qualifiers.
No, you do not go to 2 qualifiers.
So last year,
This changes.
Right.
So we have qualifier level, qualifiers and league championships. Out of those qualifiers, those 4 qualifiers, approximately 48 to 50 teams are going to move on. 48 to 50 teams will not. They will have only had 1 play opportunity. So going the qualifying tournament route this year, you have a 1 and done opportunity, possible risk. Now, what could you do still? Okay, so you don't want to tap into league play. If you are a qualifying team, who says you can't get together with other qualifying teams and do scrimmages? You could visit a league play meet. You could, yes, do scrimmages. I mean, you can get together with other teams. I mean, you can be as dynamic as you want. But I understand completely from reading tons and tons of the survey comments that there are teams, there are coaches, there are teachers that just absolutely will not work for them to tap into doing 4 league play events. That they want to have that 1 team meeting a week. We're providing as much support as they can, and that is all they can. They just want to count on being able to go to 1 qualifier. If they advance, that's great. They're happy to do that. They'd be thrilled. But they can't get started as early, be ready by October. They probably won't even start until the 1st of November. So whatever it is, whether it's geography or the fact that the kids are doing soccer in addition to this, I've read them all. There are definite reasons for wanting to go the qualifying tournament route and reasons for going to the league play route. Other barriers to doing league play is if you live in a region, and I would imagine it probably does not apply to most of the people in this room, but probably our 7 viewers on our live stream, that if you are in an area, let's say way eastern Oregon, way southern Oregon, we're still developing teams there. The kind of rule of thumb is that all of the teams in the league should be no more than a 45-minute driving distance to the league meet space area. That makes it doable. So at maximum, an hour and a half round trip, in addition to the time that's going to happen at the league meets. So let me get up the next slide set so we can go into. Anybody have more questions about the qualifying system? Yes, qualifying system.
I want to make sure I understand this. So say my team decides that we're going to play in the league play.
Right.
So to make sure I understand it right. So our team needs to be ready to compete the week of October 20th.
Correct.
So we compete the week of October 20th, the week of November 3rd through 9th. Oh no, the week of 3rd, I do not have enough team members to make a tournament.
Good question. Okay. 12 teams when you start doing the rounds, remember we're going to have 4 teams on there playing on a match. Then the next 4 teams, that's 8. And then the next round is 12. When we if we have 2 or 3 teams not being there, all of a sudden that you really got to kind of commit to being there at least 3 of the 4 meets. Because otherwise, and then it can become dynamic. I mean, within the communication structure of the league, if all of you decide that you've been meeting on Wednesday nights and all of a sudden that Wednesday night, November 17th, 23rd, just isn't working, all of you could mutually decide that most of the teams can meet on Friday or Saturday and that's fine. I mean, you're just managing 12 teams. That sounds like walking the park.
And then just to finish it out,
yeah.
I finish out by either competing on December 13th, 14th, or January 10th. 11th.
That's correct.
And then if I advance from there, then I go in March.
You go to the Super Qualifier the weekend of the February 21st, 22nd, either at Evergreen Space Museum or South Meadows Middle School.
Where I will meet up with teams that have Will I be meeting up with teams who've been?
Okay, when we get, thank you for jogging my memory. When you get to the super qualifier level, those 4 tournaments will be populated with teams. You won't be just gonna have like all 12 of your teams will go to one super qualifier. You can randomly, will be the four dates or the 2 dates up there with the 2 locations. You pick which ones would be best for you. We're gonna just seed you all in, whether you're a qualifying team, whether you're a league play team, it doesn't matter. It'll be across the board, all 4 will be populated like randomly. So
I'm curious about the formality of the 4 weeks of play. It sounds like it's pretty flexible and you can meet this day or this day as long as you can all meet together. Do you have people there? Are there judges there? How is it?
if I can get to the slide set.
Go.
Do the slides, Ken.
Okay.
Perfect segue.
Oh, right.
So we either are on the 13th.
No, I think there's.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Now we get to the nitty gritty here. I really wanted to have this up a while ago. For some of you know or don't know, I had some major health issues between April and 2 weeks ago. So I really slowed down from my usual normal go all out kind of self. So we are behind on some things. But I promise, even if I have to stay up to the middle of the night, by September 10th, there will be an application for league play. This is not an application to determine whether your team is worthy. No. This is just an application that allows me to kind of sort you into the. It's like the sorting hat, okay, in Harry Potter. Where do you live? What dates would you be available? How many of your teams at your school want to be in this league? Because I think I'm going to set this application up as a school application as opposed to, just individual teams, because I know some of you have a lot of teams. But you could decide, maybe you'll decide that crazy, Jeff Blackman up at Hood River, he's going to have 10 teams at Hood River High School. So, will all of them do league play? Maybe not. He can split that. Any school, if you got 4 teams, you could split 2 to go to league play and 2 not. You could put your younger freshman kids going in the QT route if you want to. You could put your upperclassmen teams in the league play route. You can split them any way you want. If you can request, you probably could request to be in different leagues. I think that would be a little crazy. But if you, as a school, wanted to be put in different leagues, so you're running around different locations. That is basically the application. Is you're saying, yes, I want to be in a league, but this is where we live, this is available dates, this is how many teams at our school or whatever would want to participate, so that I can do the great sorting hat of trying to figure out geographically, and I'm actually going to ask your physical address of where you meet, so I can figure out this 45-minute circle. Actually, Chris Flanagan's going to help me out with that one. And so I can figure out the best places to put the league. So can you flip it, back one more time. So, deadline to apply for the league play roster is September 30th. If you want to apply to being a league play, what does it say?
14.
Posted, that league play, deadline to apply for a slot in league play roster is September 30th. So it's going to open on the 10th, close on the 30th. I decided this at 7:30 this morning, but
2015, by the way.
Oh no, 2014. It was 7:30 in the morning without coffee.
We knew what you meant.
You know what I meant. Okay, and here's the other thing. Your teams, if you want to be in a league, have to have your national registration paid in full, the $275, or have received your rookie grant. So I got to be seeing that little green yes button from the national registration. I will not put you on a league roster unless you have paid your national registration, because I cannot dog you for that. So you're going to have to stand up, be responsible, get it paid. And then hopefully I will be able to announce the league rosters the preliminary ones on October 13th, so that we can then get going on the rest of it.
The next week.
Be virtually like, 7 days from then.
Yeah.
But I think this is the fastest I can do it, because we got, school just started, we got to allow people time to apply, get that stuff paid, and then by the 24th for league host, can you do the next slide? Be a league host. It's also going to open on the 10th. My heart is so warmed at the number of people that have stepped up to talk to me today about being a league host. It's really warming. I think we're going to do this. So September 24th is a deadline for applying to be a league host, and I'm going to ask a whole bunch of questions on that one. And some of this is commitment, facilities. So if you think about being a league host, number one, I want you to go check with wherever you think can be the venue. And actually, unless you own that building, I want you to talk to the people that are the grantors of the permission for that. So that you know when on your application, this is not just a guess that you could have that space, or that it would be probably a good space to hold it, but that you've actually talked to someone at the school, your organization, the church people, whatever. I mean, this could be really creative about where we put these. These could be in a large high school atriums. These could be in a cafeteria. It could be in, I think a band room might be a little small, but the gym. But I'm thinking gyms may not be your best bet because of all the sports stuff going on after schools. It could be on a Saturday. Maybe you can get it on a Saturday. Maybe your league could even really be willing to meet all on Sundays. So when we get these applications, I'm like the matchmaker between the league hosts and where they are. So it's kind of like a perfect storm kind of thing. League play training. The other thing you got to think about is that you're going to be sending people to, over a course of 2 weekends, the 11th and the 18th. Because we're going to train your referees. We got to come up with all those people too. Referees, we're going to go through the laundry list of who's got to be trained. Okay, 18th and the 11th. At Benson High School, be on notice, we're going to be holding the league play host training at Benson High School.
Okay.
That's another thing we're adding to your plate there.
Awesome.
All right.
So I know my email's been down this week, it's been tough. Okay,
That's fine.
go ahead.
We got room for everything.
There we go. Requirements for forming FTC leagues. If I blocked review enough, I'm going to walk over here and block their review. Okay. League to be formed when there are 12 teams in close proximity to the other desiring to form a league. Can you tell my husband's a lawyer? Okay. Rule of thumb is the team should be no more than 45 minutes of travel time to league meets. A league can be formed if one or more of the teams in the league take the responsibility to be league host. Or hostessing, yes. See below for host requirements, we'll get to that. League can be formed when 12 teams can agree upon day and time to hold the meets according to FTC league meet schedule. ORTOP will determine which teams are in, not as in which league, are in which league, are is. I get to pick. That's what that says. Is I'm going to determine which teams are in which league. Okay? Yes, fix.
Quick question. I'm assuming this is what's going to happen, but just to verify, teams are going to be getting each other's contact information and all that mumbo jumbo.
Oh yes, yes. When that is part of this, is that we will be in a 12-team environment. Yeah, we're gonna be sharing contact information in a closed environment, not publicly, but in a closed environment, so that all the teams will be able to contact all the rest of the teams. I'm thinking about separate Facebook, closed groups for you. That kind of stuff. That's the detail. Come up with great ideas for me. Send them to me. How you think teams could communicate.
Gotcha.
Got it. Okay. Questions on this one? Yeah.
To your left. We are a rookie team in 97229, and we are surrounded by heavy hitters.
I know 97229.
So how will you make sure that we don't get punched out right away? Because you will be choosing the teams in a league.
Right.
So
I think there's going to be multiple leagues in Washington County. Does that answer your question?
And you will make sure that...
I'm going to be distributing, yes. Because if you're all within 45 minutes of each other, and there's more than 12 teams within 45 minutes,
okay.
Then, yeah, that becomes a really easy question.
Okay.
Okay. Forming teams, say, in the South Willamette Valley, that's a little harder question for me. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you host a league tournament, you have to host all four or just one?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a little further slide down. Just hold that question. You've got such good questions that I have already come up with the answers for. Okay, next slide. How will they work? I think we went through this. There's the 4 weeks. The 2 leagues are joined together for 1 league championship. 4 leagues will be held, league championships will be held. Weekend of December 13th, 14th will be 2 of the leagues, and the weekend of the, leagues 3 and 4, just a B championship, and then leagues 5 and 6 will be a C championship, and leagues 7, 8 will be a D championship. Who all those folks are, obviously, is to be determined. Okay, this right here, this another thing is going to be on the application. I mean, this may be a tournament host thing. I'm not going to be able to satisfy everybody. But we may find that there are teams that, for whatever reason, really want to be in a league that's going to have that league championship early on the 13th, 14th. What I'm thinking about are schools that have an FRC team. And they want to pretty much be done with the league championship before kickoff for FRC. So they want to get through, and they want to just be ready for that super qualifier in February after, and I've made it so that the super qualifier is actually after Bag and Tag Day. I thought about those things. So there may be, what I would be doing is searching for, well, half the teams are going to have to compete that weekend, so it's not going to satisfy everybody. But there may be some teams that's going to be a great weekend. Plus, I can't shove you all in on one weekend. That would just drive me crazy. I'm only going to do that once in that super qualifier. Okay, next one. What happens at a league meet? Yay! League meets are official events. They are official events, which means they have to run like an official event. This is not a scrimmage. This is not a scrimmage. League hosts, teams in the league. You're responsibly up the field, the time, fields to be set up at the right time. There is a definite schedule. So, leagues should not last for more than 3 or 4 hours. Ideally, it's about 3.5 hours. Ideally, you'll have about half-hour travel time each way at max. So you're talking about 4 hours in any given day. That's much shorter than a qualifying tournament when I have you there checking in at 7 a.m. and leaving at 7 p.m.
That is including setup time.
Okay. No, it does not include setup time. So there will be those people, the league hosts, but I'm thinking you've got 12 teams here, and from talking to other people around the country that have done this, it can get kind of wearing on the league host to be the one that's so set up. So I've taken a book out of the Scout book, and I think that that as a league, you can set up what we call a duty roster, so that everybody can pitch in and do something that contributes towards the efficiency of the setup, tear down, or running of the event during those 4 meets. So the idea is teams will be expected to help with the league host with setup and tear down, and that doesn't mean all 12 of you have to show up an hour before, but maybe there will be designated 1 team or 2 teams that will be show up. Your goal this year or today, that you will show up an hour early to help set up the field and get things ready. And you 2 teams are on the duty roster to help us tear down at the end. So you can kind of spread that apart. We're on 12 teams, 4 events, 4 meets. I think that's easy to do. Anybody think that's a bad idea? Oh, good.
Do you have to set up more than one field?
No, 1 field. It's just 1 field.
So if you have your 1 field already set up,
then yeah.
You need tables.
Right, you need pit tables, you got to do the power. You know, those are little tiny details that I thought about at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I didn't write down here. You know, it's like, does everybody have power strip, and you have figured out a way that everybody can get power to their tables? I mean, you don't have to provide the power strips for your sake. You got to bring a power strip that's going to hook into here, okay? So set up, tear down, inspection. Teams will pair up and inspect each other's robots. Now, hopefully, we're going to have our referees that are going to be at least somewhat trained in the inspection process, and they can kind of be the decider enough for them to know that a robot is either unsafe or highly illegal, but they may not be versed in the nuances. This is really about your teams taking that inspection sheet out of the game manual, and you're going to go through that like ahead of the game, and then you show it to another team who's going to look at your robot, and they're going to look down your sheet and they're look at your robot and go, no, you missed this. No, this really isn't good. Or I mean, you can literally say, and if you know that you're not in compliance, so what are looking for at league meets? Because we're not doing official inspectors by those vindictive people that Galen was talking about, that what we're really looking for at a league meet is that the robot, yes, should be pass inspection. However, the little tiny things, like it's an 1/8 of an inch bigger than the sizing cube, that is not a safety issue, okay? In my book, it is safety issues and really illegal parts that are really obvious. Those things shouldn't be let go. But as long as it's safe for a referee to pick up or someone to be around with all those moving things, then you're good to go. If it's a real safety issue, that's the call. A team could say, you know what, I really think this robot has got a safety issue here. Ask the referee to make a ruling on it. That team doesn't get to make the ruling on it. The referee makes the ruling on it that says, no, you guys, you're going to sit out today because unless you can fix it, because you can't run a robot that's not safe for the other teams or the other robots. Okay, that seem like a fair thing?
So you're saying if it's a little thing, you know, they can go ahead
Yeah,
and play.
you've been an inspector.
But remind them, you know, that.
Reminder, next week, that's going to be fixed.
Yeah.
Okay, I will let you know that at our very first qualifier last December, at Glencoe High School, we had a number of league play teams that were there. Those were the teams that were having the biggest problems getting through inspection. They were the very last to pass inspection. The self-inspection process only takes you so far, but you really got to dog it. You got to really dog that sheet because you got to know that you're coming to that league championship. The vindictive people will be there to look at your robot. We get a lot of mileage on that one. Okay, match play. Teams will play at least 5 matches at each meet. These matches are played in the same manner as the qualifying rounds at a traditional tournament. Elimination round is not played at a meet. What else doesn't happen at a meet? Formal judging. Okay? However, can you do the next slide? We might as well go through this first.
Yeah.
Teams receive scores for each match. Their best 10 matches are carried forward to the league championship. Amended by scoring system, manual adjustments or requests for exceptions will not be considered, and all other match scores are discarded. In other words, the league host scorekeeper takes all your matches, and there's going to be some sort of automated system that's going to accumulate them all for your specific team, and that we will have your accumulated match scores to go to league championship. And first basically saying there's no appeal for this process. Okay. We're not going to give you 2 more points because you thought you deserved 2 more points.
So if you come that week of October 20th and all you can do is drive off the ramp.
Right.
It doesn't really matter because you can just you're going to have a total of 40 matches.
And you may have an awesome alliance partner too.
You're going to have a total of 20 matches.
20 matches.
So half of those are going to
go away.
And half go away.
Right. And if you show up to 3 meets and you do 15 matches, you take 10 out of the 15. You show up to 2 meets, things happen, we're going to take all 10. So that's kind of the way it goes. Kiel.
Is there a cap of how many matches you can do before the super qualifiers? Like, say that there's time for more than
before the league championships?
Yeah, say that there's time for more than 5 matches during one of the meetings.
Yeah, if all the coaches agree for that day, hey, we're really on time, we're smooth on, should we play another match? I think the FTAs might have to decide ahead of time. I don't know exactly how the field control system works, because that's a good question. So we got to figure out if they got to decide ahead of time to do that or not. I'm not keeping track of time. Yes?
Somehow I thought I had the understanding that all of the teams went to the league championship.
They do.
They do.
So why do the scores even count?
Because all of the teams are going to go to the league championship. We're going to take your 10 best matches, and at the end of the league championship qualifying rounds, we're going to add those 10 matches to whatever ranking score, all together. So however many matches you want, your ranking points, yeah, that's all going to get added to what you did there, okay? Teams advance from league championship. Using the advancement criteria aligned for official FTC events, consult your Game 1 manual for the list. Okay, next. And it's changed this year. The control award's in. Control award's in the advancement list. I think it's in like slot 24, which was disappointing, but okay. Judging. There's no formal judging at the meet. However, our judge advisors are going to round up some judge reviewers. And with first, just this week, announcing the self-assessment. Has anyone seen the self-assessment form? Okay, it's out there. And it's asking teams to do a self-assessment. And so the judge reviewer, if you have a self-assessment at the meet, you can show it to the judge reviewer, you can have a conversation. And that's all these are going to be, is conversations. They're not going to take your reviewer sheet. It's not going to go on to the league championship. It's simply meant as a way to informally and in a friendly manner give you some feedback and give your teams an opportunity to stand in front of, not stand, just at the pit area, have a conversation with someone not a member of the team about how they're doing, what they may have done towards the Innovate Award. What have you done for perhaps the PTC Design Award? How's your engineering notebook? You know, those kinds of things. So it's just meant to give an opportunity to give them to have a conversation, a little public speaking thing, answer some questions, practice answering some questions, and have someone look at that self-assessment sheet and hand it back. Okay? What? Bigger, louder.
Will someone from ORTOP will be there as judge reviewer?
No, I mean personally. ORTOP is just two of us. So you mean some of the part of the championship volunteer committee? We're going to the people that we will recruit people to do this.
Okay, it's not.
It'll be independent. We'll get to the independent volunteers here. Okay. And I think that's kind of useless for a judge observer to show up at first meet. Way too much to do, just getting it all sorted out. So chances are you'll see them at meets 2, 3, or 4, and they'll probably try to commit to at least go to two of those 4 meets, maybe 3 if we get someone else. Okay, go ahead. Next slide. League hosts. We're moving on to the league hosts. These are very important people, teams, because without league hosts, we can't have a league. Okay? In other states where this has been done, one of the teams associated with the league acts as the league host. That's worked very well. Occasionally, we'll have a community member that steps up to be the league host and that actually steps up and organizes all of it. That's kind of fun too. So league hosts host the meet at their school or organization. Now, there's another option to this. I think that Steve Fulton talked to me that like Tigard, Sherwood, and
yes, if I bring you 3 high schools with 4 teams each, that's 12 teams. I'm my own league now. Yes.
It's highly possible, Steve. Highly possible.
You're not going to give me what I demand? Really? Really?
Fill out the application. But in Steve's case, if that were to happen, 3 different schools, 4 teams each, they could decide that week 1 we're going to hold it here, week 2 we're going to hold it here, week 3 we're going to hold it here. But I'm going to hold Mr. Fulton completely and totally responsible for the meet, no matter where it happens. If it's not in his school, he's still responsible for making sure it happens.
So you want a single league?
I want one person that will be defined as the league host, as in the league, the league host. You can have a meet coordinator at different schools, but within your league, but we will have one single solitary person. I want to be talking to 8 of you, not 24 or 50 of you.
So, does the host of each league each week go to state?
No. Being a league host has nothing to do, there is no advancement to state with being a league host.
It just means more work.
It is as I would like to say, a connect and motivate awarding opportunity. Okay? There is nothing, and specifically we asked the partner conference, and they were absolutely dead set. League hosts are not an advance. If I advanced every league host,
right.
I mean,
be 37.
Right. Who could we actually? We might just have a hosting tournament, as opposed to a tournament by my merit. So I can't. Got to draw
so
line
does
somewhere.
anyone from league play?
Now it is possible that a league host will also morph into being the league championship host, and in that case, yes, indeed, because you're help organizing a full event with judging and full rounds and elimination rounds and volunteer food and yada yada yada. Now that's going to get you somewhere. Okay? Okay, so league host, coach or mentor, or the team parent. The team parent can step up to be that league host person, that main contact. Okay? Community volunteers along with the team members to fill various organizational roles. So you can have the league host, and then you can have the subcommittees. This model's worked in several states. Go ahead, do it again. Okay, responsible for overall management of the league, establishing the venue or venues, building permits, storage of equipment, seeing that the league is ready for play, stored away for the next meet, acts as a liaison to the ORTOP management, gives reports on league meets. Okay? Responsible for communication to the league teams, emails, social media. The league director can and is encouraged to establish sub-roles for the organization of this league. Trust me, I strongly suggest that you do not try to do this all by yourself. Please form a committee. I could not do FTC if it wasn't for Dale Jordan and and all of my FTAs and my referees and my various other people that give me organizational input and help me to do things like that. Okay, so go on. Next slide. So an idea of the kind of other roles you can get other people to do for you, parents, whatever. You can have a volunteer coordinator. That's going to be the one person that absolutely, their job is to make sure that your referees are committed to be there that day. Maybe your judge advisor is there, your FTA is going to be there, that the people have said that they're going to maybe the field manager or whatever else you figured out that you're going to need, that they're going to be that day. Volunteer coordinator. Communications manager works with the league director to communicate with teams with necessary information about schedule changes or whatever. Other needed information from ORTOP and general information that helps the efficient operation of the league. I imagine most league hosts will also do this role, but it's possible you could make that a separate role. And a media director. I'm reaching out there. I was thinking when I was putting this together, getting very creative, it would be really cool to have someone associated in the league to be the media director. Take photos, make posts to the Facebook page, write up league meet summaries for publication, maybe even live stream. Okay, that's an optional like pie in the sky kind of thing if we can get it going. One thing this is my dream goal, is that I will get the Oregonian to publish our league meet standings with all the other high school sports scores. That is my goal, okay, as an affiliate partner, that we will have a column in the Oregonian, along with the football and the basketball and all the other people playing sports, that we're going to have our league standings for our leagues, at least for the top 5 teams each of those weeks. League standings. That's my goal. So we're going to have cool league names. Okay. There we go. To go on. Official volunteers required at all meets. If you don't meet these standards, if these people can't show up, you can't have a meet, even if all your teams can. But we got to figure out a way to get another volunteer from another meet, another league to come over. But they've got to be here. You got to have referee pool. That's the most important. Getting 2 certified FTC referees. Maybe they won't be there. You've got to have at least 1 certified referee in the building. Having 2 certified referees associated with their league gives the chance that one of them could be there 2 meets, one of them could be 2 meets. One could be there if one's sick. And then an additional 2 or 3 just referees that are trained by the certified referee. If all 5 of them want to certify, that's fine with me. But they've got to be certified. You got to have at least 2 referees at a match, prefer 3. Because having a head ref and then 1 ref watching each of the matches, so that the team want to talk to someone about it, that you're not slowing it all down, because our eyes got to be on that match, both referees. If you have 3, 1 could talk, 2 could watch. Go on. Next slide. Certified field technical advisor. How could we run a qualifying tournament without a Dale or a Chris Flanagan? Really tough. So they will be training people to be field technical advisors. Got to have 1 at your event. Because we're using the whole field control system stuff still. Yeah, that's nice. Then we've got to have a field technical advisor to help set up a field control system to deal with the made possible lockups. Is it a field control system issue? Is it a team-related issue? Got to have someone trained to be there to do that. They also will train a scorekeeper. That could be a student or a parent that's entering those scores. Judge reviewer, we talked about, that's going to be provided by, that's the ORTOP. So that's somebody independent. So your referees and the judge reviewer must be independent of your teams. You can't be a parent on your team. Now, if it could be a faculty member in the school that's not associated with the team, that's okay. It could be a coworker that has nothing to do with the team, doesn't come to your team meetings, is just interested to be recruited as a volunteer, that would work too. Field manager, it's an optional role but helpful. That's someone that's going to go, you, time to come up the field, come on, be up here, bullpen person. Make sure that those 4 teams are ready to go. Ready to go. Because I've heard of this 12-team format, it can get a little loosey-goosey. Like they just stay in their pit until they're ready, they're being called up on the field. No, they should be ready to go. We want to be efficient. Next slide. Other league things. So, and teams in one league can agree to shift the host location, not the host duties. The host location of meets among teams. In this case, the league would have a couple of meet managers, but there would still be one league director that league host. Okay? Next one. Cost of league play. Bruce and I and Dale Jordan did the math, and if we were to purchase everything for a league, it would be $2,800. For us to come up with everything for all the leagues, all 8 of them, would be $22,000. I don't have that money. So, we thought about it, and we own some fields. Yes?
Second sessions are now underway.
Oh.
If you're intending to go to the second session, they're starting without you.
Yeah, well, we started actually a long time ago, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, you're running long.
We're just continuing. We're running through. Yeah, I went to the slide, this is where we're supposed to be starting the slide set, folks. But to reduce these costs, we think there may be teams that have already owned fields and field tiles. That will reduce our cost. Maybe you own this or that. So we think that by pooling what we own, what team hosts own, or maybe teams within the league own, and what we can purchase is going to bring down that cost for us to be reasonable. Like the end solution is going to come out. So next slide. So this is it didn't, when I copied and pasted this at whatever time this worked. So this is an idea. Over on the left is possible what ORTOP can provide, regulation field walls and field, we own a certain number of them, but not enough for all 8 leagues, okay? Maybe a team host has regulation field walls and field tiles. I am saying that every league that participates will get a full set of the field elements purchased by ORTOP. Okay, that you get to keep for the entire duration, unless we have to pull them for the league championships. We have to pull them for the super qualifiers, but otherwise you get to keep. I would say that after your league championships are over, and you have this set, that you be kind and invite the members of your league to come over and scrimmage while you're preparing for super qualifier. That would be a very gracious thing to do. To invite some teams over to continue to scrimmage while you're preparing for super qualifier, so you're not just having exclusive use of that. We also will probably need to pull them for the qualifying tournaments. So, that should keep a thing of that. So, those field elements that we're using for the leagues, we're also going to be using for all of the official events. We were thinking that maybe the league host could come up, everybody owns a laptop, could put the software on it, it meets requirements for being the field control system laptop and being a scorekeeper laptop. So that's provided by the league. And then the stuff below that, the other stuff related to the field control system, the Wi-Fi router. Oh, I don't have on here the monitor. Yeah, the monitor, if there's either, we're going to have to buy it, or maybe a team can provide, just a little monitor for the field, the score, 30 seconds, 2 minutes. And then we would do this. End of meet recognitions. Oh yeah, that would be something that we would pick up. End of meet recognition. I think it would be fun on your 4th meet. We can't give out trophies because at that point you've just done qualifying. But I think it would be fun if the teams kind of did a self-vote as the most improved team, the team with the hottest looking robot for decorations or whatever. So I think that doing some end of the team meet recognitions on your 4th meet as a league would be a nice thing to do. Recognizing volunteers that really stepped up in a special way. We'll talk about that later. Next one. Other league host expenses. like I said, this is expected to be a connect and motivate opportunity. This is not meant to be a fundraising opportunity for you to a great deal. You're not going to be being a league host with the idea that you're going to make enough money off the other teams to fund your team. That's not happening, according to First. You can sell snacks. If you want to sell concessions, you make as much money as you want on concessions. You can sell T-shirts if you want. With the league, come up with a league T-shirt, whatever. If a school were to charge a custodial fee, and this is my biggest concern, if a school were to charge a custodial fee, and we all encourage you to be really friendly and try to get that nominally knocked down or free, but if they say, no, it is going to cost you $40 an hour, then we're pretty much going to have to divide that among the 12 teams. And my goal would be that we would not charge any team more than $10 or $15 per league meet. So it would be like hopefully 40 to 60 bucks max is your costs, plus your travel costs or whatever. Okay, next slide. Questions and answers. Okay, I'm going to take a minute here. I'm going to sit down. It's been a long day. 3 weeks ago I couldn't walk. I'm really happy to be walking. Yeah.
Does qualifying tournament and league play members ever meet the first stage? Do they meet the super qualifiers?
They meet the super qualifiers, because we're going to randomly populate those super qualifiers. Yeah.
Can the team that apply to be part of a league back out after you select, put them on the league?
Can they back out?
Yeah. So we apply to be part of the league stage, but then based on the league you put us in, whatever reasons.
I would hope you would be a gracious professional and not do that.
No,
because you cannot drive me crazy trying to pick your own league of who you want to play with. That's not happening. If you decide that you do not want to be in that league, you get to be a qualifying tournament team. Okay? Because I cannot play that game.
No, as long.
Unless it's like we can't be there on Thursdays, can you find a league for us on Wednesdays?
You said 10 best matches will advance. Sorry, the scores will be considered, right?
It is the number of, okay, when you look at the matches, are you a rookie team?
Yes.
Okay, so in qualifying rounds, we look at two things, and this is a really important thing to understand as a rookie team. When I get to qualifying tournaments and I'm reading the thing out of the book, it is sometimes the very first time a team is hearing this. How you actually earn points. They know how they earn points there, but they have no idea when you finish the match and you see the rankings will continually go on through the course of a tournament. You're ranked first, you're ranked second. Well, how do we determine that? There's two things. There's quality points. You get 2 quality points for every match that you win. You receive 1 quality point if you tie with the other alliance. And you receive 0 points if you lose. And that's the quality points. We call them QPs. The other column is ranking points. So what if we have 4 teams that have all won all their matches? So they all got 10 quality points. How do we differentiate them to make them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It comes in ranking points. And ranking points are determined by the number of points your opponent scored in that match. And so you're adding up the points scored by your opponent, not by you, not by your alliance. So if you're on the red alliance, we're counting all the points scored by the blue alliance for that match to be the match, to be the ranking points. Okay? So that you add them up over enough matches, and that will differentiate the teams. Now there are tiebreakers that's in the scoring program, so that if there were 2 teams with 10 wins and 38, ranking points, it will go on and do some other tiebreaker. So what happens is after we get to after the league championship, we have those 5 qualifying matches. The computer will be adding them all up. Okay. So at the end of 5 matches, there'll be a ranked 1 through 24. Okay? Before we actually get to the ranking to go to the elimination rounds, we're going to take your rank for after those 5 matches, and we're going to add to it your cumulative 10 best matches from your league play championships. Those 2 combined, so those 10 matches combined with the 5 you did at the league championship, will now determine your final rank for elimination, for the purpose of elimination. Why is that important? Because in the elimination round, the top teams, top ranked team, they get to choose who is going to be their alliance partner in the elimination round. If we have a 24-team tournament, they're going to pick actually 2 partners. So we will end up with 4 alliances of 3 teams each. That's 12 teams. So half the teams will move on into the elimination round, half the teams will be sitting. And in the elimination round, at that point, we play not according to the ranking points, with purely wins. So it's a ladder. So the first ranked alliance will play the 4th ranked alliance, best 2 out of 3. Second ranked alliance plays 3rd ranked alliance, best 2 out of 3. The winners of that meet in the event final to determine who is the winning alliance and who is the finalist alliance. It's all in the game manual. Does that kind of answer it?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So I think that these 10 matches are going to give a little bit of edge, perhaps, maybe change the game a little bit. It's kind of adding a little nod to your cumulative progress throughout the years as opposed to what you're doing on that one day. Because we all know, I mean, I saw this with a team last year, it was heartbreaking, that they had a really good robot, but they would get to the tournament, and it had issues. And so it was really, really tough. But if you had pretty good, consistent league plays, and then at the qualifying tournament, just something really wonky goes wrong, you're going to take those 10 league best scores and you're going to add it to those 5, and so you're going to have a different picture. Qualifying tournaments, they're going to come in those final rounds. What you do on that day is all eggs in one basket. So, other questions? You stayed the whole time, didn't you? You're finally getting your question.
Oh, good.
Did I answer some of them at least?
Yeah, well, I have several questions. One is, looks like for the qualifying tournament, there are 4 events, and do we get to pick them on our own?
Okay, if you go the qualifying tournament route, you have to, I think, I don't remember the date I put up there, but there will be an application for qualifying tournaments, I think December 1, or maybe even sooner than that. And what we do is, you say, well, for the qualifying tournaments, not league play, because league play you're going to be set. Well, you mean for league play?
Yes.
Oh no, your whole league. Once we set the leagues, you will know which date you're going to. Your whole league goes to one specific league championship. Everybody in that league goes to one championship with another league.
That's before you go to the very beginning. What I mean is, like there was 4 events.
4 meets.
4 meets. Do we get to pick what event we go to sign up for?
No, you go to all 4 of them.
And then
That's the purpose of league play. You go to 4 meets.
Okay. What about the pay registration fee? $150 for all 4?
No. The league meets are separate. It is $150 to go to the league championship or go to a qualifying tournament. It is another $150 to go to the super qualifier. It is another $150 to go to the state championship.
So there are 4 events there. That's $150.
No, four league meets should be no more than $10 to $15 per, because it is a small event. Okay, you're just meeting informally, well, officially, but it is just 5 qualifying rounds. And so you only pay $10, $50, it might even be free if there's no custodial fees or other fees. Probably nominally a $5, so that the league host will at least have something for printing costs or things like that. So I imagine it'll be anywhere between $0 to maximum $15 to go to each league meet. When you actually talk league championship, that's where ORTOP steps in. I want your $150 to pay for a big full-blown one-day event. Steve.
On that note, worst case scenario, going into a school, you have to pay a full custodian monitors fee. That means that you probably get hit up each of the teams, maybe $15, $20.
No, we already talked about this, you missed this. No more than $15 per team. If a custodial fee is beyond that, we are going to work it out with ORTOP, okay?
Ah, okay.
I am willing, yeah. I would like you to do the very best job you can on getting that custodial fee down as much as you can. If a school says it absolutely has to be full-blown, and you know that you're going to have them for, you got to have the space for 4 hours, or 5 hours. We got to figure out what that fee is and what we can contribute and what the teams will reasonably contribute.
Mine is 0. So
So-
that's not a problem, but other schools,
Right.
they charge a bunch.
And this is something that's going to be on the league host application. You are got to figure this out before you apply. Okay? Other questions? Other questions? Anybody completely put off by this whole thing? That you want to say, I'm tough? No? And you think this is a good direction to go? Yeah? It's good for the future, yes, it is, yes. But I'm not going to let you pick in what league you're going to be in. Okay. Right, I will, yes, I will, it all has to do with location, days you're available. I understand there's some strength issues here, you know, so we're going to do our best job on evening it all out, you know. So, other questions? Huh, am I finishing up early, I think? Yes.
Kathy, not a question, but an opportunity to, should we talk about the data for? I know there aren't many people around here. I know Badminton Block, Kufa, Hardwood has been part of this event, sharing knowledge, right? Should we?
Oh, yes. VQ. I forgot to do this earlier. There was so much. If it had been on my agenda, I would have remembered. VQ has done like a wonderful job by doing these things called meetups. They have. I want to put a wireless microphone on there at all times. I really do. You want to come and talk about it? Who wants to talk about it? Okay, they put together these amazing workshops throughout the summer, and they're having one next week. I'm going to advertise it big time because you're going to get me the text. This week, I got to tell you, I had a denial of service attack on my email, all my email going out, on posting to the website, to posting, adding new members to the information list. I have been in IT just the bottom. Laura D., how frustrated was I?
Extremely frustrated.
Yes, we had to shut the door so I could yell 4-letter words. So I did not get a chance to do half the things I wanted to do. So tell us all about how amazing the VQ meetups are.
Alright, so we're VCube and we've had like a series of meetups because there's really a lot of stuff that you can do online to talk to different teams and, you know, Facebook, Twitter, but there's like no place that you can come together, show your robot and be like, okay, well, we're having this problem, can any other teams having this problem, and really talk it out. So we've had three in the past, and the first one was just meeting a lot of the different teams in like the Washington County area, and the second one was about control, so that was mainly like sensors and software and 3D printing, and the third one, and it was innovation. Oh, that was the 3D printing one. So yeah, so it's just kind of touching on different aspects of FTC, and you can come and get help. Say you're like, okay, well, I want to learn about 3D printing. How can I get more info on that? And then you will go attend the 3D printing one. And we had a 3D printing guy come talk about how it's pretty easily accessible now. So it's just a lot of different informational sessions that you can go to and get some stuff. So they're going to talk about the future.
Alright, so our next meetup is probably one of the most exciting we have because the challenge has come out. This is meetup number 4, and what we're going to have is judges come in, and you know when you're working and all of a sudden these questions start coming up and you realize you forgot to ask them on this day. This is going to be the perfect time to come ask because we'll have judges there. Feel free to ask them any questions that you want regarding the challenge. Not only this, but you guys can bring in any ideas. It can be code or even a design part for a 1-week challenge. You can either share it, gain feedback, give ideas to other teams, or you can compete in a little challenge.
Yeah, so by the end there will be these little prizes that we'll give out. We're just really excited for everyone to share their new ideas.
Where is it and what time?
It's at the Hillsborough Main Library. It's 1 to 3 p.m. and on Sunday. Not this Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's next Sunday. Yeah. The 14th. Yeah. Oh yeah, and for everyone who wants to attend, We have on the meetups website, we have created a page for FTC meetups, and over there you can create an account, and you'll get all the information for every meetup that we have, and so you'll receive emails about all the information.
Okay, is that it?
It's been a great event.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to a lot of teams, right?
Yeah. It's a great opportunity. So get me all the information, all that, we'll put it out in the big blast today. And then next week, hopefully I will have email going.
Okay.
Did you meet without email? It was a very frustrating experience. Other questions, or are we going to go have a great Saturday afternoon? Go look at the game some more, right? Okay, thank you. I'll try to get all this posted up on the website.
Thank you, Kathy.
I'm doing much better than I was Okay, I gotta get some water.
Reed, do you remember how this goes?
Thanks, Flasher.
Careful, there's a wire. Someone take the wire down. I don't want to do it. This wire used to be, I guess.
Unplug it. So